Welcome, everybody, to the Masters in Psychology program overview. I'm really happy that you're here joining tonight. Your time means something to me. It's Time is the most precious commodity that we have. I know some people would say health, or some people would say money, but you can always get better health most of the time. You can always somehow earn more money, but your time you can never get back. So I really, really appreciate you taking your time to sit here and review this program with me. And I want to let you know that if you have any questions, absolutely put them in the chat. I will either try to catch them as we go along, and if not, I will catch them at the end. But your question will not go unanswered, even if you leave. Which don't do that. Don't leave. Stay till the end. There's a reason. But if you do leave for some reason, a dog pees on the floor and you've got to go. Believe me. Then I will email the response to your question. Okay. So ask away and we'll get started here. All right. I'm Michelle Robbins. I am the admissions advisor for the Masters in Psychology program. And I'll start out a little bit with some history. How about that? We start there. So, Divine Mercy University is a Catholic Christian university. You can see here, we go beyond psychology here. We integrate faith and science and a deep understanding of the human person. All right. Um, we were founded in 1999, and that puts us at our 25th anniversary. It's a very special year for us. The program that you're looking at now was launched in 2014. And I should also note that we are an accredited program with SACS COC. This is pretty much the gold standard of accreditation here in the United States. It means that we have met very high academic and ethical standards. And I should also tell you that we were founded by a group of psychologists who wanted a more compassionate approach to psychology that integrated both faith and ethics. And the goal was to make psychology more accessible and to help people flourish both in their personal and professional lives. All right, so just a little bit of history for you. Um, and we're going to talk about why the program is unique. So, for me, the number one reason we are unique is the second bullet, which should be the first bullet, but um, it is because we were built on that integrative approach to psychology. Um, to me, that is the number one reason that sets us apart from other universities. But we are a 100% online program, the one that you're looking at now. So our program, the Masters in Psychology, it's really built for real life. Um, Let me see here. Little okay. Welcome everybody that's just joining now. But anyway, it's built for life. It's built for all of your commitments, everything that you have going on in your life. You can make it work with your busy schedule. It's a structured program, yet it's flexible and it enables you to work at your own pace, yet keep up with the program demands. What can I say? I'm going to save this 16 and 26 month. Um, I'll talk about that more in a little bit for you, okay? Um, More reasons we are unique. These next four kind of tie into each other. And it begins with the small student faculty ratio, right? So we have small classes and we did that by design. We did it on purpose. So you can't hide. No, I'm just kidding. We did that on purpose so that you get plenty of attention from our faculty. We want you to have feedback. We want you to have that robust education. And the best way we can do that is by keeping our classes small. Um, you'll hear it said a lot. Maybe you won't, but I have heard a lot that the community feel amongst the cohort, even though it's a it's an online program, there is a strong sense of community amongst the cohort, and a lot of people go on and maintain those relationships even after graduation. So it's pretty special when you have that kind of interaction going on. You really bond. And let me see, the experienced and supportive faculty. Another reason we keep our classes small. But I should let you know that our faculty, um, they have a doctoral level training and real world experience um, with integrating both psychology and faith, and that is because a lot of them have their own practices. So they are practicing and they're teaching. So just a little note for you. All right. We're now going to talk about some of the benefits of the Master's in Psychology program. I won't go and read all of these things, you can look through them. But I will say one of the things that I have heard from many students over time about the program is that they describe it as cathartic. Um, the program allowed them to work through personal experiences as they're moving through, and maybe even unresolved issues from long ago or things that are going on in their life now, and helps them deepen their understanding of human person. It's kind of like self-care built into the program, and that's important because when you're in a role where you're helping people and you're giving, and especially if you're an empathetic person, you give and you give. And if you don't have a means of taking care of yourself, then you can burn out pretty easily. So I really appreciate hearing that feedback from students about this program. I think that is beautiful and it's important. So um, let's move on. Okay, so if you got my email, thank you for coming and for responding to it. Um, this is the part of the point in the presentation where I would be showing you these six concentrations, right? Um, they're great. So I would normally walk you through all of them, and we would talk about the differences between them. But I'm going to give you some inside information. This is what the email promised. So we are restructuring the Master's in Psychology program. All right. And instead of offering our six concentrations here, we're going to be focusing on two of them. And this is going to start in fall, this upcoming fall. Um, the reason, the reason for that is because one of the most common things that we have heard over the years from students is, I love the program, but what do I do with my degree? And for some reason, people couldn't, it was hard for them to understand where they could go with it. So that feedback led to this restructuring, among other things, but that was a key thing with this restructuring of the program. Um, we had to look at where students were naturally gravitating to as well, as far as these six concentrations. So either into leadership or organizational work or into ministry and pastoral care. And so the program was built around those two key areas. Um, so now, from the very beginning, when a student comes in, they can see exactly where their education connects to real roles in the world. Um, so the great news, okay, is that here are the two concentrations. We have organizational leadership is one, and pastoral spiritual care. Let me show you. Whoopsie, here we go. Here's your sneak peek. These are the two concentrations. So these are what our focus is going to be. Now, The university is still finalizing the details on these programs. The full breakdown hasn't even been put up or published online yet on the website. So I can share a general overview of each one of these, but I can't go into real deep detail, but that will come. And especially to all of you, I will have your names, even though I can't see who you are now. For some reason, there's a glitch in my Zoom, but after the fact, I'll get a report and it'll have everybody's name. So, what I can do is I can send you more solid information once this has been uploaded or published on the website. Okay. So, let's look at these two briefly: the organizational leadership and the pastoral spiritual care. um, for organizational leadership, this one is going to be about building and leading programs. um, Let me see, I have some notes, and when I tell you this is brand new, this is really really brand new, so pardon me if I have to look at my notes because it's that brand new. Okay, so organizational leadership. Um, all right, I can tell you that this concentration um, is going to build on elements from the original Masters in Psychology program. Areas like human formation, motivation, group dynamics, but it's going to go much deeper. All right. It adds practical leadership development, conflict management, and program strategy to better prepare you for real world roles across a wide range of settings. All right. This concentration's really going to be designed for students who want to grow as leaders. And that could literally be in business or nonprofit, ministries, education, healthcare, human services. Um, it'll cover a broad scope of areas that you can use this concentration. You'll learn how to lead people, programs, and organizations with both the practical skills and deep insight into the human person. So, the interesting thing about this one as well is that it's also going to support those pursuing the SHRM, the RM certification or recertification. So, and that stands for Society for Human Resources Management. So it's one of the most recognized credentials for professionals in HR management and organizational leadership. Okay, so that is your organizational leadership. And now we will look at pastoral and spiritual care. So, this concentration pulls from some of the most meaningful parts of the original program, like human growth, flourishing, and the Catholic Christian understanding of the person, but it goes deeper as well. Um, the concentration is not just for pastors, all right? It's the track for anyone who feels called to accompany others through suffering, crisis, or spiritual growth. All right. So it could be chaplaincy, it could be ministry, healthcare, hospice, prisons, and even some corporate settings. All right. With this one, the interesting little extra is that it supports those pursuing chaplaincy certification through organizations like NACC, which is the National Association of Catholic Chaplains, and the BCCI, which is the Board of Chaplaincy Certification Inc. All right, and those are often required for spiritual care roles in hospitals, hospice, prisons, or military settings. Those are your two new concentrations. So I would love to know, you know, where's everybody at? Where do you see yourself in either one or the other? Is it something that looks interesting to you? What your feelings are? Um, okay, let's go on to look at now. Um, these are the foundation classes that made up each of those six concentrations that we had previously. All right. So moving forward, four of these are definitely moving into both concentrations. The helping people flourish, I'm sorry, helping people flourish, a Catholic Christian understanding of the person, the human growth and development across the lifespan, cognition and emotion and motivation, and the social psychology, groups and diversity. So these four will move into each of those concentrations. All right, we're not losing those. So just briefly, the helping people flourish. This is the first class that you will take. It's taken alone, and everybody starts with that one. It's kind of like the foundation for the rest. All right. For that one, you discover really how psychology and faith come together to explore human dignity, well being, and flourishing through that Catholic Christian perspective. All right. Right after that is the human growth and development. So this course, you gain a deeper understanding of how people grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually from infancy all the way up to older age. um, the what are we? The developmental psychopathology. Um, this course is sorry, I lost my place here. Um, totally lost my place. But um, mm, totally lost my place. Okay, cognition, emotion, and motivation. All right. So this course is going to look at basically how the mind works, and so how you process emotions and how we think and what drives human behavior. All right. I know what it was. So in these two new concentrations, there are two classes that we are offering that are brand new that they just haven't been taught before. And so the organizational leadership, that one, um, we're going to include fundraising, financial management, and grant writing. So very exciting, brand new. That one is going to be called Pro 610. And so this one is a really good one for nonprofits and ministries and schools. Um, Anybody who needs to secure funding, manage a budget, or write strong proposals. That's what this course is going to be about. And then for the pastoral and spiritual care, we have a brand new one and that one as well. And it's called Death, Bereavement, Grief, and Coping with Loss. All right. So this one is it meets a deep and often overlooked need in ministry, how to truly support people through loss. So, whether you're walking with somebody through illness, trauma, or end of life care, this gives you the tools and insight to be a compassionate and steady presence. So, those two courses, I mean, it's wonderful. Okay. All right. So, that's just a little bit. Um, When the website is updated, you will see the full course curriculum, and you'll be able to look up the all of the course descriptions and everything. So that's just a little bit of a teaser for you. All right. Okay. So going back to what you can do with your master's in psychology degree, you can do a lot. You actually can, because obviously it's a psychology degree. You can move into social and mental health service positions. That's a given. And then because we are a Catholic Christian university, you can move into ministry. That's pretty standard. And then education. But This degree is actually very diverse, and the diversity comes in the form of this middle column here. There are areas that people are surprised that you can use your degree to open the doors for these different things, things like criminal profiling. But you didn't know that, but there it is. So, little interesting little tidbits. And I'm just demonstrating here that you can take your degree off into the corporate world. So before I came to DMU, I was in the corporate world, and I can tell you that corporate world needs God and psychology. So you can take your degree and go and help people there. All right, and we're going to kind of move into some of the things about the program that won't change. Basically, we already said 100% online, and also, let me see. I have no questions yet. Okay, you guys are easy. All right. So you have the ability to work anywhere, anytime. And that is because the classes are asynchronous, which means that you do not have to be in front of your computer at a certain time on a certain day. You can literally go to the coffee shop with your computer and take in a discussion board or listen to a lecture. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you have that ability. You can take your program anywhere and work. All right. Now, some of the professors do offer live. Um, they do their live courses, and so if you happen to be available, you and some of your cohort could take in a live session, but they're all recorded, so won't miss anything. All right. We work on the platform called Canvas, if anybody's familiar with that. It is very user friendly. And you will get a little tutorial when you go through the university, um, the university orientation. Um, we walk you through some of that. So you'll have a couple little assignments on how to upload and things like that. But it is very user friendly. The five sensory learning points. So we want you to know here that we understand and appreciate that people don't learn in the same way. So some people are auditory learners, some people are visual learners. And so we want you to know that we have the tools available for you to learn in the way that makes sense for you and that's best for you. All right. And then there's that weekly individualized feedback again. It is a thing here. You will hear back from your professors. And okay, now we're getting into the nitty gritty. All right. So this this is based off of the 26-month track. Okay. I'll talk about those two tracks in a minute, but so this is based off of that 33 credit hour program, which breaks down to 11 courses. There is a technology fee that is tacked on to each course, and that's for platform access as well as any tech help that you might need. To me, that right there is worth its weight in gold. I am that person that's like, help me. But yes, and our support team is wonderful too, very responsive. All right. And you'll see there's a residency fee. There's a residency. You have a residency. It is a 2-day residency. It's online, so don't worry. It's a Zoom call. You'll be in with your cohort and your professor, and it's usually the 7th week of that first class. Okay. And I understand that it's a nice respite. So, you may have been grinding away, doing your work and, head down and busy, busy, busy. But then comes this residency, and I just heard it's a nice respite from that. So, all right. And here's the bottom line. And I want you to know that this bottom line really doesn't exist, honestly. Here's why. So, here's why there's so much good stuff here. All right. Because we are accredited, we do have the federal student loans. So if you wanted to go that route, you could definitely. you want to have a conversation with your employer because there's employer tuition reimbursement. You definitely want to try and get what you can, as far as that's concerned. We have veterans funding. Let's see, scholarships and grants. Here's where I really want to point out. All right, now we're gonna go on a little trip here to the web page, the financial aid web page. Okay, so financial, there's so much good stuff here. So first of all, we'll start with the scholarships and grants. Okay, these are what we have basically in house. This is what we offer. There's something for everybody here. So you go down this list and see what it is that you are eligible for. All right. There's just a whole list of things here. All right. And um, how this typically goes is that after you complete your application, it kind of gets the ball rolling, and financial aid will do their thing on their end, and you'll have a meeting with them, a one-on-one meeting with financial aid. And you want to let them know what it is that you think you're going to try to apply for, all the things that you are eligible for. Okay, some of these, they have criteria. Some of them you might have to write an essay, and but just go through that. But in addition to that, if you go again, financial aid tab, go down to tuition partnerships. Now, this list is not even the exhaustive list. This is a partial list of affiliations that we have with other dioceses and organizations and schools. So it's important for you to let financial aid know in that meeting that you have with them all of the affiliations, because then what financial aid does is they find the biggest bang for your buck. So each of these, they all have their discounts. They all have discounts available, and so financial aid does their work, and they will find everything that they can to help get that tuition down. All right. Now, here's another tab. I only just learned of this. So I'll show it to you, the types of aids. So this is just describing some of the things I just talked about, but different options for you to consider. Here's what I just learned about the alternative private loan programs. Please check this out. So you go in here, select your program, we'll choose graduate, and then um, it's going to pop up some different options as far as loans out there that you can apply for. Um, some of the interest rates might be better than the student loans. So you're going to want to check this out and see if it's an option for you. Okay. There's a lot to look at here. I threw a lot at you. And what I'll do is, if you are interested, I can follow everybody up with an email that includes these links. Or I can, let me see, I actually copied them down somewhere, and the links to the page, so that you can go back and check it out yourself. All right. It is under the financial aid tab. Here we go. I found it. I'll put it in the chat, and you can check those out. Okay. I know finances, it's a big one for people, and we understand that. So we do what we can on our end. Also, before I leave this page, I'm sorry, cash plans. So we do have cash plans. They are interest free. It's kind of like when you set up a car payment, it's a month to month. All right. And that brings that number down as well to where it's more manageable. But unlike a car payment, see, when you drive your degree off of the lot, it will not depreciate. It'll increase in value. So little something for you. All right. So the 16-month and the 26-month, this is also going to remain the same in for the restructuring of the master's in psychology program and how we did it before. This remains. The 16-month, you can see here, it offers a reduction in tuition. So that's definitely a consideration when you're, you know, tracking pennies. The 26th month is your traditional. It's what most graduate programs kind of linger around that time. So, what does this look like? Well, obviously, you get through faster with the 16-month, but you have to kind of really look at what you've got going on in your life and think about it. It's great to get through it faster. It's definitely possible. We would never set you up for failure. So, that said, this is what it looks like. The 16-month is you're taking two classes at a time, basically. All right. 26 month, you're taking one class at a time. So, practically speaking, and time commitment wise, with the 16-month, for one class, all right, you're looking at anywhere from between 8 and 15 hours per week per class. And I know that's like a vast time, you know, what do you say? That's a big gap, right? 8 to 15. But the reason being, some people are going to move through material faster than others. So if you just know that, okay, that's the time commitment for one class, it kind of helps you to restructure things, commitments, things, you know, you have to rework in your life. So if you're taking this 16-month, you're going to double that. And that's between discussion boards and papers, lectures, all of those things. That's what factors in assignments, all of that. All right. In the 26th month, you're just taking one course at a time, and it's the scenic route. You can just kind of move through it and a little less aggressive because the 16-month is aggressive, but um, if you really want to, you definitely you can do it. All right. Do I have any questions? You all are so silent. Is anybody even there? All right. We're almost finished though. So, these are your requirements. They're pretty straightforward. We need the transcripts from your bachelor's degree with at least a 2.5 GPA. Two recommendation requests. Now, here, if you don't remember anything else that I say, have backups. Have like 4 or 5 people um, to uh, be your recommenders, because for some reason, um, sometimes your first two flake. I don't know why. I don't know if they're not checking their email. I'm not sure, but it happens, and we just don't want you to get held up. So have some backups, and literally, it's not much of a time commitment. It is 10 to 20 minutes of their time. They receive a link, and they open the link, and it's a form, and the form are a series of questions about you and how well they know you and all of these things. And it rates from 1 to 5. All right. And then there are a few places for them to leave comments. So it's not the stressful letter that they have to generate. It's pretty straightforward. But for some reason, people flake, and that's okay. So have your backups. All right, we need a resume, a current resume, and a written statement of intent, which the written statement of intent is just a 500-word essay, basically one page, and it's your time to shine. It's your time to talk about what your goals are, what your passions are, and if the program aligns to that. All right. And I have more, help with that if you need it. The TOEFL, if needed, this is for non-native English speaking people. All right. Once these things are in place, we set you up for virtual, uh, the virtual orientation. All right. So I see there are finally a couple questions. Thank you. How many GB? Okay, help me out here. Too many acronyms. My mind. GB. What is that? And when does fall registration start? Okay, so it starts now. You can get in there and start with your application. If you complete your application, oh, good news! I got good news. So you want to wait until the end to get all this good news. Um, if you complete your application by June 20th, I believe. Now, I'm pretty sure it's June 20th. The start date for fall, let me just say, is August 20th. Okay. But if you complete your application by June 20th, you get, let me see, let me get my link out for you, get it all ready. You get an early admission um, scholarship. All right. You don't even have to do anything, just fill out an application. And when I say fill out an application, that does not mean to have your your recommendations in or your transcripts. That's literally just the application, right? So if you get that in by June 20th, it's a $1,500 scholarship. So that's something. Let me find the link and I'll post that in there as well. It should be here. Sorry. I had all of this stuff together and then everything kind of got a little, here we go. And see, what else can I tell you? Oh, I can tell you once I find this link. It's here. Okay. Any other questions? No problem. You are very welcome for that link. Let me see. Here we go. Oy, my goodness, I apologize. So I can definitely follow up with an email with the link. And there's also, up here it is. It's right there. Okay. Um, okay, here's the application link. All right. And along with the application link, there's a code here. The code is to waive the fee, the enrollment, the application fee. All right. So if you plop that code in there when you come to that point on the application, it will waive that fee. All right. And that is just a thank you for your time and for hanging out with me. And yes, let's see, what else can I give you? So remember, if you get your application in by June 20th, there's an early admission scholarship for $1,500. All right. The application shouldn't take long at all. It's usually like a 20 to 30-minute process to get through. And also, I'm going to put in the contact below my email as well as a calendar link. So if you want some time, a one-on-one meeting to review anything, maybe you have questions and you don't want to put them in the chat, by all means, set up a meeting and we can chat. But this is the point where we do a little evaluating. So if anybody didn't have any questions, no, no questions. I feel like I'm getting off too easy here. I'm happy. Yes, please, absolutely, Robert. I'm happy to talk with you. Um, Especially anybody that joined after I shared the restructuring of the program. Um, you might have missed part of that, and so I can talk to you about that. But right now, I guess I would want to ask you: does this program align? Is it something that you can see working in your life? Can you fit it in? Is it something that aligns with what you want to do, your own personal mission? If so, then I definitely would encourage you to go ahead and complete an application. The application, just so you know, doesn't lock you in at all. But what it does do is it saves your space, which, remember, we said we have smaller classes, so that's just a fact. And so it saves your space and it kind of gets the ball rolling for financial aid, so that they can do their part, and we can get you set up with that one-on-one meeting with them, because the sooner you know in that area what your situation is, the better. All right. And let me see. Did I miss any? Is there any? Well, we just passed our summer, so I guess I should have said that. So we have three starts during the year. We have our summer, which we just started today. Yes, today. Today was the start of summer classes, and summer classes they're an abbreviated session. It's an 8-week session versus fall and spring. Those are the other two start times. They are 16-week semesters. All right. So when we were talking about the 16-month option, when you are locked into that, not locked into that, when you're signed up to do that one, um, you're taking your two classes. You're taking two in that first 8-week period, and then two in that second 8-week period. There's no break. So it's aggressive. All right. So but it's doable. Absolutely doable. All right. So you're still considering, Christopher, between the psychology and counseling masters. Want to be a licensed counselor for autistics? Is there a well, there is a presentation for that, but I just can't show that to you. That is, let me put. I have some more cut and pasting here for you. You're going to want to reach out to either one of our um, admissions advisors for the Masters of Counseling program, if that's uh, what your desire is. And I do have their contact info. Um, I do. I really do. Just have to find it. hmm This is going to be a learning lesson for me to have everything together next time. So there are two admissions advisors for you to reach out to if you are looking at the counseling. Um, if it would help you, I do have a PDF that um, kind of lays out both programs side by side so that you can see what the differences are. You know, um, realistically, and I can send that to you if you would like. And wow, it's so bad. I cannot find my information. And I promise you, I had it all ready. Okay, this is it. This is it. My goodness. Here we go. So the Masters in Counseling Admissions Advisors. Here we go. All right. If you'd like to reach out, and then they definitely can go through a presentation with you about that. Oh yes, definitely, Maria. I'll send that to you as well. And are you still able to get licensed with this degree? No. So the master's in psychology, it is a master's degree. It does not lead to licensure, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because there are many things that you're doing with this degree that you can do in the master's of counseling. There really are. One of the biggest differentiators between the programs is that the masters of counseling, you get your license, and um, you're equipped to diagnose and treat mental illness. So it's clinic work. All right. And so if that is where your heart is leading and where you want to go, then that you definitely need to reach out to Charisse or Sarah. But a lot of, if you if you have a need, if you have the desire to help people in your community, in your church, um, this program, I would definitely still consider it. Just because it doesn't lead to licensure does not mean that you can't do good work with this. I think the best way that I've heard, and I don't know if I'm going to say this exactly as articulate as I heard it, but um, it's kind of like the master's in psychology you catch them before they need the master's in counseling. All right. So I don't know before or after. But yes, so the master's in counseling, it's a longer program. It's a 4-year program, complete with an internship. And you have to do the clinical hours. And so, and I know during that program, there are 3 times that you need to go back to, you need to visit our campus in Virginia for the residency. So just a few little differences, but I won't go into any more detail than that. That is the job for Charisse or Sarah. So please reach out. And Robert, email me all that you can about these programs so I can make informed choices. Interested in counseling as well. Okay. All right. Counseling is a great way to go. I mean, we're all under the same DMU umbrella. So the most important thing is to go where you feel your calling is or your heart is or where God's leading you. So if it's with the Masters of Counseling, by all means. But I definitely just don't want you to think that the Masters in Psychology degree is just a master's degree. You can do a lot with this. All right. Okay. So I threw a lot out at you. If there is anything more that you want clarification on, please feel free to use that email, my email, or um, I'm still here in the chat for another few minutes. I'll hang out here in case somebody did have some questions. But yes, I would love to help answer these questions. And if I don't know the response, I'll get it for you. All right. But again, thank you all, those of you that are here for joining tonight and um, going through till the very end. All right. And other than that, I will follow everybody up with an email. Like I said, the financial aid information, I'll include the links in there. And anything else that I can think of, it'll be a big old reference email. All right. And then you can just follow up with me. And you're welcome. I am very happy to be here to help. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Oh, I did. Shayna, I'm sorry. I hope you're still there. Is your conferral date for your bachelor's is not until November 1st of this year. Would you recommend I begin the application process? Yes. You know what, Shayna? Let me find out for you, okay? I don't want to say yes and then throw you all off if that is not the right answer. And congratulations. And Robert, I'm sorry. You would like to hear more about future employment opportunities. Okay. I can definitely help with that. And I never did find out what GB is. Does anybody know? Um, okay. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your questions and your replies. Okay. And God bless you too, Sylvia. All right. So I owe some email. I'm going to be busy. All right. You're welcome, Maria. And thank you. I don't want to destroy your name. Ooh. Shinamalu? Shinamalu? Uh, all right. Well, you all have a wonderful evening. And yeah, if there are no more questions, I guess I'll let you go now. Yes. All right. Well, until next time, you're welcome, Tommy. Take care, everybody. Thanks again.